Well, we're still with the Styx Pride. They're still slowly moving through the long grass here. But the problem is that we are going straight towards where we left Tamba sleeping. I can see the big tree that we were under earlier straight in front of us. And if they continue in the route that they're going to go, they're going to walk straight into him. So I hope little Tamba has heard these lions calling already and has decided to move on, because the last thing I would want is for these guys to go after him. Remember that the Styx Pride are responsible for killing Tandi's first cub, Wabayiza, so let's hope that the Styx turn more south and head down towards... one of them went to the toilet and it is really very stinky, but let's hope they head more towards Twin Dam side and they leave this area alone and leave little Tamba alone, should we say, not Wabayiza. But they are heading more south now, which is good news. So they seem to be cutting down towards the Mulawati, but I don't know, there's the tall tree that I was talking about. So on my right hand side, that tree over there, that one is the big jackalberry under which the elephants and him were yesterday, and just where we had him lying on the other side. So that's where we are. Now hopefully they're going to move. You see they're facing now more in a south direction, so that's where we want them to go. Charlie, you're wondering where they're going. Well, Charlie, I'm not 100% sure where they're going. I would imagine that they're heading towards the Mulawati, and from there, anyone's guess. So this is Styx Pride hasn't spent any time here at all over the last few months, so it's really a surprise to have them here, and surprise that they're actually moving around in this general vicinity. So who knows where they're going or why they're here and what's pushed them in this direction. It's certainly very interesting that they are here. There goes the little cub's going to jump on Mom. No, just catching up with everybody. Don't want to be left behind. I wonder where the rest of the cubs are. It's very strange that there's only one cub with them. I believe yesterday that they were seen with the Birmingham male, and there was all of them were together. Remember, they were with one of the Matimbas on a kill, and that was my first thought, is maybe, just maybe, something happened there. But I believe yesterday they were all together. I'll try and find out if it was all 6 cubs there, but there certainly seems to be only one cub with them now. The fact that they've moved as far as they've moved and they haven't stayed and waited would tend to suggest that the other cub is not with them at this stage. Or the other cubs, should I say, are not with them. Although it looks like maybe they're going to lie down here. Let's see, is this where they're going to spend their morning? I hope so. No, we're continuing to go southwards and into the Mulawati. Come on, lie down here and leave Tamba alone. Oh, well, that's a nice surprise. Seb, have you seen who's behind us? One of the Birmingham males. By the looks of it. Let's have a look. Let's just turn. So that's 3 Birmingham males in a morning, which is quite something. So it looks like Nsuku behind us here. Yes, it is Nsuku. Here he comes. So we've had Nena, Tinyo, and now Nsuku this morning. Look at that. He's looking beautiful as ever. I wonder if maybe he's been tasked with looking after the kids, and the kids are behind him. Not that I can see at the moment. But he is one of the more beautiful Birmingham boys, not nearly as scarred and scraped up as Tinyo. So him and Nena always in the running as the pretty guys. He's got beautiful eyes, this particular individual as well. There we go. Just stopping in front of the car. How spoilt are we, guys? We've been absolutely spoiled today. Well, in fact, not just today. This whole week has been incredible. There we go. So it looks like this is maybe where we're going to settle for the day. And there we go, down for the day. Hopefully this is where they're going to settle, because, well, I don't really want them to go any further, because I don't want little Tamba to be seen. So as long as they stay here and Tamba decides to move southwards or northwards and away from this area, all is going to be good. But to think that we're in with about 500 meters of a leopard and lions is really quite incredible. Marissa, you're wondering if these animals are used to people. Well, Marissa, they are what we call habituated to vehicles. So they know that vehicles move around here, but on things that do not hunt them, do not threaten them, do not hurt them, and that is why they allow us to be within close proximity to them. If we were to try and steal food from them or hurt them, then you would find they would be far more skittish and they wouldn't let us come anywhere near. And that's why when we get new lions or leopards or animals that come from outside of these areas where we can off-road and we can follow them, you find that those animals tend to be a lot more shy. So yes, I suppose they are used to vehicles, not so much people. If I was on foot now, you would find that these lions either would have run or they would be very aggressive towards me and to try and chase me away. So it just depends on the situation as to whether they come after you or if they run away. But generally with cats it's a 50-50. They most, actually probably not even 50-50, I'd say 80-20, that they'll move away from you rather than come towards you. Now they're facing away from the sun at the moment, so what I'm going to try and do is just reposition myself. I just don't want to chase our Birmingham boy because he is really quite close. So I'm going to wait for Aubrey first to finish. Oh, that's not good. There's a little packet that just came off a vehicle. Is that from us, Seb? Alright, so we've got a little plastic bag here that I want to grab quickly before the wind takes it because it's in the bush and certainly don't want the lions playing with it. So we're just going to get into this position right here, and while I try and retrieve this plastic bag without being fed upon by lions, let's go back across to Jamie and her lions.